I think we are uniquely positioned as women in a male dominated industry to be even better human centered leaders. Having empathy is actually one of our strengths. And so I feel like, my team maybe at first wasn't sure what I was doing when I showed up, but we've had an opportunity to really impact each frontline employee, drive higher engagement scores. And so leading with empathy, I feel like is, a strength a lot of women have. And that stands out in a male dominated industry. I would say keep an open mind when you are looking at jobs, because one thing I learned is doing something that was a little different than maybe what a lot of classmates were looking at ended up being the best place for me, the best place to get experience. And so not being afraid to think outside the box, keep an open mind about what's out there, and make sure that you do your diligence. The place you're going has a supportive culture for women, ask the right questions, and yeah, you'll land somewhere great.
I've been very grateful to have worked with teams across now 3 different states over the last 3 years. And I think it's just been incredible kind of as a younger GM in this industry. Came into it with not as much industry experience as some of my peers. It's just been great to learn from all different walks of life, all different backgrounds, and really kind of take those learnings and actually have impact on the ground level. I've been really grateful to work in a bunch of different departments and markets that are just wildly diverse and be exposed to a lot of real ownership and problem solving in all of those. So anything from, sitting as an HR manager leading through cultural change in an acquisition, or, sorting on a recycling center line, to even sitting as an operations manager over, 90 routes. And so I think that the hands-on experience that you get as you move through the general manager accelerated program and most of the developmental programs in Republic have been really great as a means of finding where your strengths and weaknesses are and providing tangible, experience within every kind of aspect of the business.
Love it.
Yeah, I think, I had a P&L experience prior to coming into this role, but it was such a smaller scale. And so stepping into this role, having been with the company now for a little less than 3 years, it's crazy that I get to have this ownership. I get to, really own my business and drive change both, culturally and financially, and truly see the impacts of all of my efforts and my team's efforts as well.
I think, I love waste. So I've never felt hesitant to explore waste. But I also want you to remember that whether or not you are hesitant to explore waste, you are also invested in the waste community just by being a human on this earth. And, you create waste, you create recycling, you create organics. So if you want to be involved in something that is good for your future, good for your children's future, waste is where it's at. We have such a part in our, in the producers, in their sustainability reports and what they're doing. And we really play a part in making sure that is responsible. So don't necessarily think about it as trash, but thinking about it as, how do we take care of the neighbors around us? And some of that, yeah, it's a little disgusting at times, but it really is, it's good for the world. So when I was an MBA, the Republic Services GMAP program was really the only program out there that was offering a true general manager internship. I for a lot of the other ones I hear, they use the word general manager, but what they're thinking about is more of a leadership development plan, where then you choose a specific role afterwards. The GMAP program is truly, you get everything during your time in a rotation, but you're going to keep everything when you're a GM. And this is the only program that was able to offer it. And that's why I went with Republic, because I wanted to keep all of these skills. I find I am more of a, I'm not just a P&L person or operations person. I like working, interdependently with all of my teams. And this was the only program that offered that.
I think my impact stands out through being confident, being comfortable in speaking up and speaking out. Know your business. Excel in it. Exceed your goals and expectations. I think it's also good to be your authentic self. Don't change who you are to fit in.
Yeah.
And, deal with conflicts right away. Don't shy away from them. And then I would say, lastly, you get yourself a mentor or sponsor. And in return, you should be a mentor or sponsor to others.